Okay, 24th of March. Welcome to the daily public investment show. We go through ASX US indices, sub-indices and commodity prices to see where we should be investing. So 5 days we've got. We'll go through what the market's reaction and what it's done, and oil hasn't collapsed. Bitcoin looks like it's going to collapse. Special analysis of Bitcoin today. Okay, well, so the ASX 300, so daily chart. So we're up 0.5%. So, but we're still not above this this support resistance line here, and that's because there's been a bit of a switch. So now our financials, which we're holding up over this week, are now starting to look a bit negative. So a few more down days and we could be retesting these lows here, and so that's going to be led by the big boy CBA. So he's got a few shooting stars up here at this resistance level, so you could see him probably doing A, B, C down to here somewhere. On the other hand, our materials sector, so the bottom was going to be somewhere in here, hopefully. So it looks like materials has put a bottom in. So if we do the old XMJ over XFJ, so materials over the financials, you can see historically it's sort of been a little key ratio level. So it's time to switch, sell your banks, get into some materials, energies. So our energy sector still looks good. The wood side for CBA switch. So it used to be 7, so now he's a div of 5 versus CBA 2.8. And if you had made the switch back there, you'd have an extra 50% of your money of more than what you've got in Commonwealth Bank if you did the switch. So it doesn't look like that's going to change. Okay, our gold miners. It's like just hanging on. So a bounce is a bounce. So we need to wait, and we'll have a look at the gold price. So the big boy in there, Northern Star. So I've got a little alert here to see if potentially he becomes a buy, but yeah, not yet. No bottom yet. Our tech sector is looking a bit wobbly. You can see we're sitting right on support here. It was setting up for a nice little cup and handle, but yeah, not yet. So America, so the VIX is still, so this is the futures, so we're still elevated. So I think, like from my point of view, I think it's good that I think he's going to have to. I think they're going to stop bombing, but oil prices are going to remain high. Actually, when we get to oil, we'll talk about that. But Trump must have looked at the. He must have looked at the share market and gone, "Oh, I've got to do something, otherwise it's going to shit itself." So this is the S&P last night. So it had the bounce. So that would have been short covering. Everyone would have been short here and then had stops. So now we've got to see on a retest. So there'll be a whole bunch of people that went short here. So for the market to get its real, get itself going, some giddy up, it really needs to break above these levels, and there'll be a huge short covering rally. So the futures, S&P 500 futures. So tonight will be a test night. The Nasdaq it looks a bit better than the S&P, and this is the Nasdaq futures. So the Magnificent Seven, they're sort of at their measured move here, so hopefully that support holds. So that's Nvidia. So I think well, I can't see Nvidia crashing, but it looks like we're in for like a consolidation phase for them. So semiconductors are still holding up. The financials don't look, so they've still got a potential flush down here. But if we look at JP Morgan's got itself nearly, Blackstone, BlackRock, nearly. So yeah, a bit of confliction there. Materials in America, energy. So there's no budging there. I'll get onto the oil price. So energy over the Nasdaq. So it's still where it is. The global gold miners, so they went way past there. So but again, so it's going to wait on that gold price. Israel, just go to the weekly chart. So the Israel stock market, led by this guy. So he's got a bit of volatility here, up in shooting star and a pin bar. So Dubai share market. So we're waiting as a break below or a break above here. Dubai real estate. There's a kiss goodbye. India. So India's nearly got its head back above. China. I wonder if Trump is meant to be visiting China soon, I think. Emerging markets, so looks okay. Your high growth super fund. So that was up today. So now's the materials. So this is you want to have your super fund, I think, position for a materials. There's where you wanted to switch out of your high growth into materials, and I think there's the opportunity coming up. Join the channel, $10 a month. ASX US shares, ETFs, VGS. So still got a bit of work to do. So the same thing with VGS. Time to switch to a materials focus. Okay, interest rates. So Aussie 1 year rates. So up at 4.8. It looks extended from if that was a share point of view. Aussie 5 year rates. So they look pretty content of moving up. So bond prices. So they had but the trend is down. We've broken through. US 5 year, that looks bullish. US 1 year, so it looks like a bit of consolidation. So international bonds, so they're breaking down now. So this is your conservative super fund option, not looking too conservative. The US dollar, so it's still in the middle there. It's either, it could be a pause and then rip, or so don't know. Aussie dollar looks down. The Bible commodity index, so having a bit of a breather. It's okay, it needs to. It's run pretty hard there. So the old commodities over the S&P. So a bit of a pullback there. Okay, gold. What's he doing? What's he doing? So we had a big bounce. So off 4,200. So that was, hopefully that was the bottom somewhere in here. So nice pin bar. So we're looking at the 2-hourly chart here, which has been pretty good resistance. So we need to see gold above, well, I'll call it 4,500 to get excited. And at least for it to hold and not make a new low. So far, so good. Okay, the girlfriend. Okay, so we had a bit of an ugly head and shoulder target pattern there. So that was good. So again with her. So the 2-hour. So silver needs to get above, well, let's call it $71. So still got $5 to go, and we don't want it making a new low. So we're not out of the woods yet. Okay, Bitcoin. Someone asked me about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's got a bit of a bear flag here, upward channel, and a potential head and shoulder head. So if it goes up and turns down and then takes out this support line here, then we've got a measured move down to around this area there. So that's the which would put it in line with the old low over here. And so the part of the question was, do you buy gold or Bitcoin? So this is gold over Bitcoin. So Bitcoin's been out, well, gold's been underperforming Bitcoin. So a bounce in gold and a drop in Bitcoin would signal gold over Bitcoin. Okay, that was fun. Platinum. So it looks like a bit more pain for platinum. Palladium's had its pain. Copper. So, well, it's holding support, but I wouldn't put it past one more flush. But I wouldn't bet on it. I wouldn't short it, that's for sure. Okay, oil. So American oil. So that like it doesn't look bearish. This is the December futures, American oil. So again, it dipped, but it hasn't crashed. So I think what it shows is that there's all this talk of there's a glut of oil in the world. Well, I think this whole exercise operation has shown that that's not really true. And even if the Straits open, they've got, and everything's been bombed, they've got to rebuild it, and you just can't flick a switch and turn on the pumps and everything starts flowing. So this is Asian. I'll just go to weekly. So this is the Northern Hemisphere oil benchmark for Asia. So there's still a premium, a $12 premium. And I've got a new chart for you today. Always adding value. Hope you appreciate it. Hit the like button. Hype us. So what I've got here is Omar. So this is medium sour. So this is the Sea of Oman. So they can ship. They're not using the Strait of Hormuz. So people are paying $169 a barrel for their oil. So at some stage, Well, I think that's where the good news I think is, I think oil will flow, but we'll be paying a lot more for it. But that's just life. I think we've just got to get used to that. It's just more important that it can flow so that industries can survive. Another new chart for you, Canadian crude. So this is interesting because usually, let's not get too technical today, really. So Canadian crude is different. America has sweet, light oil. Canadian is heavy, extra heavy, sour. But it's in demand because it's what the Middle East people like. Their refineries like the crude stuff. So Canadian crude's getting a bid. That's what I wanted to show you. So this is a nice little oil and gas stock that we're looking at on the channel. In America though, in the US. But that's paying a 10% divvy, this one. 10% divvy and nice projected growth target. Okay, back to it. So American natural gas, so there's plenty of it around. Asian natural gas. So this is going to be a problem because Qatar's used to produce a lot of it. East Coast gas doing nothing. Iron ore setting up to be quite bullish. Lithium at highs. Now uranium, potential A, B, C for uranium, which is $75 is usually the floor price that gets paid, because most of the sales are done contracted, not at market prices. So that's why 75 is usually a floor, but it doesn't mean it's going to happen. Thermal coal still holding up. Coke's cheap. Nickel still consolidating nicely. Aluminium, same. Now, how's our food going? So soybeans having a bit of a breather. Corn looks very bullish. I'd say that doing that. Wheat, just a bit of a breather. Then, because I think it's too late now. The fertilizer's too expensive. Farmers said, "No, I'm not planting. It's too much." So sugar cane and your coffee. So your coffee's still hanging in there, but it's flat up. All right, hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, give us a like, give us a hype. See you tomorrow.